Fort Lee for today's matchup between the visiting Passaic Valley Hornets and your Fort Lee Bridgmen. Now for today's starting lineups. First, for the visiting Hornets. Number 3, Lillian Almendinger. Number 4, Gabriella Bagnuolo. Number 5, Kylie Almendinger. Number 11, Jessie Santos. And number 15, Diana Hamdan. Head coach, Mark Salvatore. And now the starting lineup for your Fort Lee Bridgmen. Number 5, Amber Lask. Number 13, Jacqueline Martinez. Number 22, Olivia Kim. Number 23, Samantha Song. And number 30, Ileana James. Assistant coach, Brianna Matisich. Head coach, Kelly Lane. At this time, we ask that you please rise and remove your hats as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. Thank you. Let's play ball.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome here inside East Gymnasium at Fort Lee High School for today's afternoon affair. As it's going to be a matchup featuring the visiting Passaic Valley Hornets, 0-1 on the season, taking on the Fort Lee Bridgmen, also looking for their first win in their second game of this season. Hello, everybody. I'm Dan Long. So glad that you could join us here on the Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel for this Fort Lee Bridgmen girls basketball home opener. The Bridgmen are coming in off a loss against Paramus in their season opener, where they played tough and it was a close matchup after the first 3 quarters, but then the Bridgmen kind of ran out of gas in their 33-17 loss against the Spartans. They're going to be hoping to right the ship here today under head coach Kelly Lane in her 3rd season at the helm here at Fort Lee, 32-22 overall record. And for Passaic Valley, they come in also looking for their first win of the season. They lost at home against Eastside 59-21 in their home opener. And Coach Mark Salvatore is going to be looking for a road victory here today. Last meeting between these two sides came on December 18, 2021. Fort Lee came away with a 37-27 victory at Passaic Valley. And the opening tip is secured with possession by Passaic Valley. The Hornets attacking quickly the other way. A couple of missed layups inside. And the third time's the charm, that time for Lillian Almendinger, as she gets the early bucket to give the visitors an early 2-0 lead. Fort Lee will be in their home black, while Passaic Valley is their road white with green. Worked around over to the near side to Olivia Kim. Amber Lask got a touch of it, top of the key. Here she is right now. Foul line extended. Ileana James getting it down low to Kim. Bridgman playing without a couple of their normal rotational players, out with injuries or illness. Inside, James, contested shot, hook shot, no good. Kim goes to clean up the offensive board, no good on the putback attempt. Rebounded by Lillian Allmendinger. Allmendinger coming off an 8-point performance against Eastside in their season opening loss. She averaged around 7 points a game last season. Stop, pop, and no good, but the putback layup inside is good, so Passaic Valley with 2 opening baskets, courtesy of their propensity of attacking in the offensive glass. That was Gabriella Bagnulo, the sophomore. 4-0 lead in the early goings here. Last kicks it out. Here's a long distance offering, rattled in and out that time by Jacqueline Martinez. Passaic Valley looking to push it down the floor the other way. Lillian Allmendinger getting it back to her to the top of the key. Steps up right in front of the three-point line. No good. Rebounded underneath by Ileana James. James averaged just under 5 points per game last season as a sophomore. Now one of those leaders as a junior. They try to feed it inside to her, and she gets sandwiched with a foul. That'll be the first foul of the game for either team as we're coming up on 2 minutes gone by here in the first quarter. That foul will be charged against Gabriella Bagnolo. Her first. Inbounded up top to Jacqueline Martinez, who had 5 points against Paramus. Had that shot blocked before it could get in on target. And Passaic Valley doing a good job defensively in the early goings here. Allmendinger getting it up top now to Dana Hamden. Hamden was the one who had it briefly. She's now defending here. Wild shot by Martinez. Follow-up attempt inside, no good by the Bridgman. And Fort Lee still looking for their first points of this first quarter. Shot from the outside, no good, as Bagnolo was trying to get her second made field goal. Both of the baskets in the early going for Passaic Valley, courtesy of offensive putbacks. Trying to force a steal that time was Kylie Allmendinger. That deflects off the fingertips inside of James, and little helter-skelter start to this game for both teams. Hamden. Lillian Allmendinger. Back to Hamden, tries her luck from deep. Doesn't draw iron as it goes out of bounds, but last touch out of bounds off of Fort Lee, so it'll be possession staying on this offensive side of the floor for Passaic Valley. Last win for Passaic Valley against Fort Lee came back in 2018. At a 3 in the corner, no good. It's a breakout the other way. It's Amber Lask, the sophomore. Lask was trying to find her way to the hoop. The foul is going to be whistled against Passaic Valley. And that'll be in the act of shooting, so that will send Amber Lask to the line, shooting 2. Lillian Allmendinger was the one called for the foul. Last misfires on the first foul shot attempt. She had 2 points in the opener against Paramus. Second foul shot is good. Fort Lee is on the board. They trail 4-1. Lillian Allmendinger getting it down low to Hamden. Jesse Santos with the ball. Hamden in the corner. Hamden tried to dribble, drive, try to find it down low to her teammate Bagnolo. Got deflected last touch out of bounds by Fort Lee. So despite having the offensive struggles in the early portion of this game, Fort Lee's been doing a nice job attentively of playing defense. Feed inside again. Tough catch, and it goes up and off of Passaic Valley last. And that'll be a turnover, which will give the ball back over to Fort Lee. Last season, Fort Lee went 11-14 overall. Began their season by losing their first 4 games, then kind of righted the ship when they won 5 out of their last 8. There's a 3-point shot that's knocked in, as that is Jacqueline Martinez tying the game up with the first 3 of the game for either team. And it'll be a foul against Fort Lee. First time that the Bridgemen are going to be called for the reach in. 4:03 left to go in the first. That foul will be charged against Amber Lask. Passaic Valley trying to break their scoreless drought here, overshooting the rim. Pinballs around, fight for the loose ball on the hardwood. And the jump ball possession arrow will favor Fort Lee. So now Fort Lee will have an opportunity here, holding possession on offense to possibly take their first lead of this game after they had fallen behind 4-0. Martinez, reckless abandon right to the rim, but she is denied entry. Clean block there, produced by Bagnolo. Good clean block on the other end, produced by Ileana James. So both teams doing a good job of maintaining their verticality and not fouling. 3:32 left to go here in the first, 4-4 game. Hamden will inbound it for the Hornets. Open in the corner, launching from deep, no good. Ball trickles around, and another offensive rebound taken in by Passaic Valley. Here's another look from three, short. James trying to box out and eventually finds his way into the fingertips of Kim. Once again, Fort Lee with a chance to take their first lead of the contest. Martinez inside to James. James turning, and she gets hit as she's in the act of shooting, and that'll send Ileana James, the junior, to the line to shoot two. James had a game-high 9 points in the season opening loss at Paramus on December 19th. And James swishes home the first foul shot attempt for her first points, and the first lead now for Fort Lee at 5-4. James goes a perfect 2 for 2 at the line for her first 2 points of the game, and it's a 6-0 run by Fort Lee to take a 6-4 lead as we come up in the final 3 minutes of the first quarter. Worked around Hamden, getting it up top to Santos. Hamden trying to get it inside to Lillian Almendinger, and she gets fouled on her way to the rim, and now she will have a chance to possibly respond to the 2 foul shots just made by Fort Lee with 2 of her own. First foul shot, no good. Almendinger had the first bucket of the game on the putback layup. Again, coming off an 8-point performance in the opener for the Hornets. Misfires on both foul shots. Another offensive rebound inside, though, by the Hornets. That's a blocked shot as the ball is still loose on the baseline. So Passaic Valley getting countless number of opportunities here to try to draw closer or even retake the lead. On the baseline, and it's going to be knocked out of bounds. .231 left to go here in the first quarter. Into the corner. Good screen led to the open 3, no good. Put back layup is good this time for Hamden. Passaic Valley is killing Fort Lee on the offensive glass so far here in the first quarter. All 3 of their field goals have come courtesy of offensive putbacks. Here's Hamden off the turnover, trying to feed her teammate in the open floor, and she does, as that's going to be the go-ahead bucket scored by Kylie Almendinger. 4-0 run by Passaic Valley gives the Hornets back the lead at 8-6. Long distance 3, no good that time by Samantha Song. Offensive rebound by the Bridgemen as Fort Lee works it around the perimeter. 1:45 and counting left to go here in the first quarter. Skip pass to Song, now top of the key. Martinez dribble drives, Lask launches from deep, and that is off the mark, goes out of bounds, and possession upcoming now for Passaic Valley with 92 seconds left to go in the first quarter. And the visitors on top by an 8-6 margin. Off to the near side. Worked around to Santos. Turnaround shot at the foul line, no good. Again, Fort Lee slow to get to the defensive boards. It does trickle out of bounds. Last touch off of Passaic Valley, and subs are going to be made as Kelly Lane will bring on number 20, Georgina Scigliatano. Scigliatano, a sophomore. As we come up with the final minute of the first quarter, Scigliatano inside to James. Here's Kim for three. Hit the side of the backboard. Fort Lee trying to get to it, and it's going to be a reach-in foul instead against the Bridgmen. That foul will be charged against Scigliatano. Her first, team's third. Each team with 3 fouls apiece in the first quarter. Baseline jumper, no good. Rebounded underneath by Song. Fort Lee trying to push it in the open floor with Martinez. James. Looks for an outlet, gets it into the corner. Scigliatano getting it up top to Song. Approaching the final 20 seconds of the first quarter. James inside the lane and banks it in. Good find, better finish. Ileana James now with a game-high 4 points for the Bridgmen. 8-8 your score. Under 10 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Worked around. Here's a shot from the outside. Air ball shot by the Hornets, and time will expire. And through the first 8 minutes of play, it's an 8-8 game between Fort Lee and Passaic Valley. Stick around as we'll be back here for more action of Fort Lee Athletics here on the Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel. I'd like to thank all of our proud sponsors of Fort Lee Athletics: William T. Birch Children's Fund, Sedona Tap House, the finest construction, Fort Lee Soccer Club, It's Greek to Me, the Fort Lee Education Association, the VFW, Bergen Black Sox, Connect One Bank, Fort Lee Pizza, and Collective Hair Salon for all of their support throughout this entire 2024-25 school year. Fort Lee trying to do just that and protect their house in this, their home opener. Season ago, Fort Lee went 4-4 here at East Gym, winning their last 3 home games of the season. Again, this is a team that is trying to get through some early injuries and illness to start off this season. Not at full strength, but trying to manage through and trying to procure their first win of this brand new year. Dan Long, so glad that you could join us here on the Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel. Passaic Valley in the white and green, and the black and orange Fort Lee. Passaic Valley led by as many as 4 in that first quarter. Fort Lee only held the lead on a couple of occasions. Hornets being hounded here defensively by Fort Lee. They try to penetrate inside. James with a good anticipation steals that pass away. Lask inside to James. James got her shot blocked. Deflected last touch out of bounds off of Passaic Valley, so possession will stay here with the Bridgmen. Ileana James with a game-high 4 points for Fort Lee in that first quarter, scoring 4 of her team's 8 points. Here's Olivia Kim inside. Kim with a nice post move. Got it high off the glass, no good. Offensive rebound into the hands of Ileana James. Lask tried to force feed that one inside to Martinez. Good recovery defense, though, by Hamden. And now it's going to be possession the other way for the Hornets. 6 of the 8 points for Passaic Valley in their first quarter came off of just offensive putbacks and offensive rebounds inside. Wild shot, now Martinez in the open floor. James thought about the jumper. thought better of it and will set up the half-court offense. Lask around the horn. Martinez got it stolen away. Good active hands there. Patricia Teseo into the game for the first time off of the Passaic Valley bench. And a timeout's going to be asked for and granted with 6:34 left to go here in the second quarter. It remains an 8-8 game in this home opener for the Fort Lee Bridgman girls basketball team. Inbound upcoming now here for Passaic Valley as they'll cross the timeline and get it back into the offensive end of the floor. Fort Lee's defense has been solid. I know that Coach Lane has been trying to have her defense move as one collective body. The thing is here, as they produce another turnover, the thing that's been ailing them is just finding a body to box out when a shot goes up. A lot of steals so far here in the first half by the defense. They just got to clean up the rebounding. Good active offense inside. Power dribble. Ileana James missed on the first try. Second time up, she got fouled, and she will head back to the charity stripe to shoot a pair. That was the best offensive set of the game so far for Fort Lee. Just touch passing down James inside. Too strong in that foul shot attempt. She's 2 for 3 at the line. James missing a pair after she swished home her first 2 foul shot opportunities, so it still remains an 8-8 game. Just over 2 minutes gone by here in the second quarter. Santos trying to get out of trouble. Fort Lee really ratcheting up the pressure, and that's going to lead to a backcourt violation. Another turnover here for Passaic Valley. Defense is very strong in the early goings here at home for Fort Lee. Kind of like in the boys' home opener the other night, offense has been tough to come by, and then Ileana James, the bank is open here on a Saturday afternoon. She has shown off a nice shooting touch here at points in this game. 6 points for Ileana James. She's the leading scorer for all players. Fort Lee with a 10-8 advantage. First bucket of the second quarter for either team. Hamden up top to Kylie Allmendinger. Cross-court pass. Hamden open for 3. Off the back iron. No good. Fight for the loose ball, and it's taken in by Lillian Allmendinger. Good hustle again by the Hornets, who are feasting on the offensive glass. Fort Lee trying to produce another steal as they shift in and out of a zone and going man-to-man at some occasions. Coach Lane kind of looking like she's playing some defense on the far side. She was a standout all-league player in her time at Ridgefield Park. Later at Rampo College. Shot no good, tipped around, and Jacqueline Martinez comes out of the pack with it. No numbers advantage for her. She runs into a defender. Fort Lee takes back possession and then gets called for the double dribble. So that was a little out of control. Martinez, you can understand what she was trying to do. Try not to have to set up against the half-court defense. But then when she had the breakout, she kind of ran out of real estate, ran into a defender, and then her teammate picked it up and ran into her for the double dribble. Good touch passing here for Passaic Valley. On the baseline, getting it up top. Santos trying to feed inside, and James just wrestles it away out of the hands. James with the pilfer. Past the midway point of the second quarter. Worked around to Song. Samantha Song getting it up top to Amber Lask. Worked around the perimeter, inside to James. James turnaround shot blocked away. Good clean rejection there by Lillian Allmendinger. Passaic Valley still Within 2 here. Lillian Allmendinger worked around to Kylie Allmendinger. There's a steal by Song. Song trying to go down the other way, got it tipped away out of her hands. The possession staying here with Fort Lee with 3:16 left to go in the first half. Bridgman trying to extend their lead. Only 2 points between these two teams so far in this second quarter. It was 8-8 after 1. James trying to get it through the middle and kind of saw what happened to her, what she did to Passaic Valley. Got it ripped right out of her hands, but the off-bounds running shot by Santos was too strong. Turnabout is fair play. James fed inside. James finishes off inside the lane. Ileana James now with 8 points. She's matched the total of Passaic Valley. Largest lead of the game now for the Bridgmen at 4, 12-8. Passaic Valley will get a much-needed bucket inside. Good give and go. Gabriella Bagnulo now with 4 points of her own here in the first half. Gets Passaic Valley their first bucket of the second quarter. Now a steal by Passaic Valley. Layup was left short, though, by Kylie Allmendinger. And Fort Lee's got to be careful. They've started to turn it over a bit. 2:14 left to go here in the second. Kylie Allmendinger has looked like picked up the foul as well. Her second, team second. Fort Lee is yet to commit a foul in the second quarter. Here's James going right into her defender. Standing her ground was Lillian Allmendinger. She's been solid defensively despite Ileana James having 8 points in the first half. Jumper off the mark, tracked down though by Kylie Allmendinger. Bottled up and stolen away by Martinez. Song will drib it out to space. 2-point advantage for Fort Lee. Back to Song. James feeling a bit of a double team against her. Amber Last cuts across the defense, and the floater is good. Amber Last, first basket of the game. She's got 3. Back to a 4-point margin for Fort Lee. Closing in on the final minute of the first half. James fronting the post, produces the steal. Martinez in the open floor, a burst of speed. Martinez going up for the layup. And it was first blocked away, and then her follow-up attempt trickled down of bounds, so it'll be possession here for Passaic Valley. With now 1 minute left to go in the second quarter. Tipped away. Martinez was in the vicinity. She's going to dive on it, try to get that loose ball tie-up. She doesn't, though. That would have been big for Fort Lee, seeing that they have the possession arrow in their favor. Ball's turned away. There is the tie-up this time, and there is possession going back over to the Bridgmen with 39.5 seconds left to go before halftime. Passaic Valley went 7-14 a season ago. They began their season winning 4 of their first 5, but then finished their season dropping their last 7, so it was kind of the opposite of what happened with Fort Lee last season. But the Bridgmen turn it right back over. So now the Hornets with a chance to pull a little closer just before the break. Inside, turn around for the open shot, rattled in and out. Allmendinger going up top, no good. Rebound secured by James. James taking it herself the other way. Ileana James trying to go coast to coast, and does! Ileana James with 10 points in the half. 3 seconds left to go in the quarter, and Fort Lee will take their largest lead of the game heading into halftime. They lead 16-10. They put up 8 points in the first quarter, 8 more in the second quarter, while holding Passaic Valley only to 2 points total in that second quarter of play. So stick around, fans, as we head to halftime. We'll be back for the start of the second half of play as you're watching all the action exclusively here, courtesy of the Fort Lee Athletic Department's YouTube channel. Welcome back, everybody, as we're moments away from the resumption of play in the start of half number 2. Fort Lee taking their largest lead of the game into halftime, a 6-point margin, 16-10 over Passaic Valley, as the Bridgemen trying to bring home what would be their first win of this brand new season. Hello, everybody. I'm Dan Long. Again, thanks for joining us here on the Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel. Taking a look at the stats from the first half of play for the Hornets. They were led by Gabriella Bagnolo's game-high 4 points, scoring 1 basket in each of the first 2 quarters. Fort Lee led by Ileana James, the junior forward, with a game-high 10 points. She scored 6 of her 10 points in that second quarter of action. Amber Lask and Jacqueline Martinez, each with 3 points apiece for Fort Lee, and Lillian Almendinger, Kylie Almendinger, each with 2 points, and Deanna Hamden with 2 points as well for Passaic Valley. Each team lost in their season opener, so looking to bounce back in game number 2. Fort Lee again meeting with Passaic Valley for the first time since 2021. Fort Lee competes in North 2 Group 3, while Passaic Valley competes in North 1 Group 2. And we are about to get underway for the start of the second half here inside East Gymnasium. Hornets will start with the ball. They're in the white and green. Fort Lee defending in the black and orange. Fort Lee's defense was exquisite in that second quarter, and they start off where they left off here in the third quarter with a steal. They allowed, Fort Lee did, only 2 total points in that entire second quarter. Long distance 3 off the back iron, no good. Martinez with the active hands, and she will produce an opportunity here with possession for the Bridgemen. Song was trying to get on the board with a quick fire 3 and didn't miss by much. She's looking for an outlet, gets it inside to Lask, and Lask took the extra step, and that's going to be a traveling violation, so turnovers for both teams on their opening possessions of the third quarter. Hamden getting it back up top to Jesse Santos. Almendinger, back to Santos, across the lane. Mid-range jumper, that time no good by Kylie. Put back layup inside is good by Jesse Santos. It's been the recurring theme in this game for Passaic Valley. Their offense has come off of just hustle plays underneath, and a timeout is going to be granted to Coach Kelly Lane, as she saw a potential turnover on the horizon for her team once Passaic Valley put on the full court pressure after the made layup by Jesse Santos, her first 2 points of the game. Fort Lee will next be in action at Hackensack on December 26th in their tournament. Passaic Valley will have some time off before they will be playing host to Nutley on December 31st. So Passaic Valley dropped back into their normal half-court defense out of the timeout, not electing to go full-court pressure. Song on the near side, pushed that shot. Kim had a putback attempt that was blockered away and kept in play by Passaic Valley. So Song has had a couple of offerings from deep, not able to see them fall. Only 1 3 made in this entire game. Another hustle play inside by Passaic Valley. Good job of just tipping it out to space by Lillian Almendinger, but then her pass was stolen away by Ileana James. 4-point lead for Fort Lee. They've led by as many as 6 in this game. Passaic Valley led early 4-0. Lask moving around. James driving inside, got that blocked away. Kim will track it down to save possession. Lask try to force feed it inside to her. That goes away. As Passaic Valley goes down the other way, off-balance shot. Kim with a rebound. Song in the open floor, going right to the rim. Got it blocked away by Santos, and Passaic Valley's done a great job of not only blocking the shots, but keeping them in bounds. So they win back possession, not just blocking it emphatically and having it knocked out of bounds. Cut it right down the middle of the lane. Layup was no good. Last touch out of bounds, though, by Lillian Almendinger. Now possession here for Fort Lee, and the full court pressure now is coming here for Passaic Valley, trying to speed up this game a bit. Jacqueline Martinez getting it to Kim. Kim's pass is intercepted, and it leads to the layup. And the points off of the pressure. First basket for Lillian Almendinger since the opening basket of the game. And Fort Lee now stepping out of bounds on the near sideline. So back-to-back turnovers forced by the full court pressure of Passaic Valley. And now the Hornets have a chance to tie or either take back the lead. Four unanswered points for Passaic Valley to start off this third quarter. But then a traveling violation will give the ball back over to Fort Lee. Richmond still looking for their first points of the second half. They led 16-10 heading into halftime. The full court pressure has got into Fort Lee in this quarter, and that's a bump foul against Kylie Almendinger. So the freshman will be called for what is her third personal foul. She's the only player that's in any degree of foul difficulty in this game. Not a lot of fouls called between the two sides. Kim working it around, trying to get it to Song. Try to save it from going out of bounds, but it does go into the corner for another turnover for Fort Lee. So a lot of turnovers, no points. Passaic Valley down by only 2, 16-14. Almendinger down inside, back up top to Lillian. Hamden. Santos was thinking about driving through, but lost it. She took a peek at where the defense was. She was going to go up for a potential layup. 16-14. Turnovers abound right now here in the third. Most effective offense so far today has been just trying to establish James, who has the ball now, inside. Only one made outside shot really to speak of in this game, and that was from Jacqueline Martinez, a three-pointer, back in the first quarter. Everything else has been inside the lane, points in the paint. Song looking for an outlet, but she throws it away. Another turnover. Here comes Passaic Valley in the open floor. Nobody stopping the ball. Contested shot, and they're going to say a blocking foul against Fort Lee. Amber Last gets called for the foul, and that will send Lillian Almendinger to the line with a chance to potentially tie this game as we approach the midway point of the third quarter. Rattles in the first made foul shot. And she knocks in a pair, and Lillian Almendinger now with 6 points in this game. She's the leading scorer for Passaic Valley. They've started off this third quarter outscoring Fort Lee 6-0, and they've now tied the game up at 16 all. They've produced a turnover. Now the Hornets looking to take back the lead. Layup was no good by Santos. Long-range offering no good that time. Deflected last touch out of bounds off of Olivia Kim, so it'll stay here with Passaic Valley. Inside, Bagnolo off the glass and good. And Passaic Valley has now taken their first lead since the second quarter. And the timeout taken again by Fort Lee's head coach Kelly Lane. With 3:43 left to go in the third quarter. trying to solve the full court pressure right now that has befuddled them. 8-0 run by Passaic Valley to start off this third quarter has given the visiting Hornets back the lead at 18-16. Fort Lee scoring 8 points in the first quarter, 8 more in the second, but still scoreless here in the third. Passaic Valley was held to only 2 points in that entire second quarter, but have emerged here with 8 points unanswered to begin the third quarter of play to take this 18-16 advantage. Passaic Valley's best season in recent history was when they went 12-13 recently in the 2021-22 season. Fort Lee had that historic season a couple of years ago in Coach Kelly Lane's debut in 2022-23. Bridgman went 21-7 that season, setting the program record for most wins in a season. They won the divisional title in the Big North American, and they won games at both the Bergen County Tournament and North 2 Group 3 state playoffs. A younger side here trying to find an identity, find some consistent scoring as well. Out of the timeout once again, Passaic Valley deciding not to administer the full court pressure. Lass trying to get that one fitted through a couple of active hands. Shot no good. Santos sees the C's part of it, kicks it out to her teammate, and the jumper is good, and a three-pointer as well. Kylie Allmendinger knocking down the triple. First three of the game for Passaic Valley. Now their largest lead of this game is up to 5, 21-16. Martinez getting on the hardwood. It's going to be a loose ball tie-up. Possession arrow will keep it here for Passaic Valley. So kind of like what happened in the season opener for the Bridgmen. They were playing so tough for 3 quarters against Paramus and then ran out of gas come the fourth quarter. The third quarter has given them trouble here today. They've yet to score, and Passaic Valley is scoring seemingly at will now. Again, just off of the offensive rebound, they're actually fighting with one another, the teammates. Hard-nosed play, and now finally the whistle comes. Kylie Allmendinger doing active work on the boards. And that'll send her to the line to shoot 2. Kim getting called for the foul for Fort Lee. And Kylie Allmendinger, who just knocked down that 3, has gotten 6 points as well, just like her sister, Liliane, who has 6 in this game. As she knocks in a pair, she's got 7. And the run here in the third quarter continues for the Hornets. It's a 6-point lead, their largest lead of the game. Fort Lee led by 6 heading into this third quarter. But the adjustments have been made by Coach Mark Salvatore and his Hornets. And this full court pressure, again, there's no answer right now for Fort Lee. Problem is that the Bridgmen are being goaded into throwing it into the corner, and that's where the double team trap comes. Kim will have the inbound. Martinez, the double team stolen away. Passaic Valley again with another turnover, but then they turn it over themselves. Song will get it up top to Ileana James. James will break the pressure herself. Quick shot in the corner, and that one actually falls. So after there had been a lid on the rim there for Fort Lee, finally it's Jacqueline Martinez knocking in her second jumper of the game. She's got 5 points, first 2 points of the second half for Fort Lee, and a timeout granted to the Bridgmen as they trail by 4, 22-18. Again, I'd like to thank our sponsors, William T. Birch Children's Fund, Sedona Tap House, The Finest Construction, Fort Lee Soccer Club, It's Greek to Me, Fort Lee Education Association, the VFW, Bergen Black Sox, Connect One Bank, Fort Lee Pizza, and Collective Hair Salon. All these proud sponsors allowing us to bring you the sights and sounds here from East Gym this entire winter season. Jacqueline Martinez Second leading scorer in this game now for Fort Lee with 5 points. Ileana James, leading scorer with 10, has yet to open her scoring account in the second half. And Passaic Valley outscoring Fort Lee 12-2 in this third quarter of play. They lead by 4. Out of the timeout, Hornets moving it around. Here's a shot by Santos, front rimmed. Caroms out of bounds to the far sideline. It'll be possession upcoming now for the Bridgemen. Only 2 combined three-pointers made by both teams in this game. Ileana James, ball fake, got it to her teammate Kim, overshot the basket. Tie up underneath. And possession arrow should keep it here with Fort Lee. Song with the inbound. Underneath to Kim. Nice fake move, but then again got her shot deflected away. The Allmendingers so good as defenders underneath. Clean rejections. Worked around the perimeter, skip pass. Deflected pass there by Martinez, tracked down by Lillian Allmendinger. Under 90 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Passaic Valley has scored more in this third quarter than they had in the entire first half combined. Another loose ball tie-up on the floor, and this time possession's going to stay here, or is this going to be a foul? Looks like it's going to be a foul instead against Passaic Valley's going over the back. And that's going to be the 4th personal foul against Kylie Allmendinger. Four personal fouls against Allmendinger, who's been a bulldog for the Hornets, trying to get possession. Ileana James deadened off the back of the rim, no good. Rare opportunity as she had a clean look at the basket. And that was a good job of going coast to coast by Lillian Allmendinger. Just went around the defensive work underneath. And Allmendinger now with 8 points in this game. Doing a lot of her work in the third quarter, scoring 6 of her 8 points in this quarter for Passaic Valley, who once again stretched their lead out to a 6-point margin at 24-18. Passaic Valley plays in the Big North Independence Division, along with teams Lakeland, West Milford, Fairlawn, Wayne Hills, and Wayne Valley. So mostly a Passaic County contingent outside of the Cutters of Fairlawn. Fort Lee plays out of the Big North American Division, Dumont, Ridgefield Park, Cliffside Park, and Dwight Morrow. Coach Kelly Lane was a standout at Ridgefield Park. Scored 1,201 points in her career, was a captain there for the Scarlets. Again, helped lead Fort Lee to their most historic season a couple of years ago, trying to build back the program here with some new faces and an undermanned side as well today. And right off of the timeout, full court pressure, and it's going to be loose ball tie-up, and possession arrow will give it right back over to Passaic Valley. So Fort Lee struggling mightily against the full court pressure that the Hornets have put on to lead to easy buckets and possessions. And now that goes out of bounds off of Passaic Valley last. And now possession going back over to the Bridgemen. Kim will trigger the inbound. Nobody really running to her, as you see here. Now finally there's an opening in the middle of the floor. Song getting it down. Ileana James from outside, no good. Put back layup also in and out. That was a missed opportunity for Fort Lee, an easy layup attempt that just couldn't drop. James in the corner, it was Kim in the corner. Here's James. Bullet pass around the perimeter to Song, up top to Martinez. Martinez's pass got deflected away. James does track it down. 7 seconds left to go in the quarter. Martinez over to the near side. Here's a shot to beat the buzzer, and just front rimmed, that time by Scigliottato. And that'll end A third quarter that was dominated by Passaic Valley. We head to the start of the fourth. 6-point lead for the visitors here as you're watching all the action in the Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel. (24-18). Passaic Valley flipping this game completely in that third quarter where they outscored Fort Lee 14-2. Passaic Valley was held to 10 points for the first 2 quarters of this game and then erupted for 14 points in the third, while Fort Lee had a 16-10 lead at the break, again producing only 2 total points in that third quarter and now face a 6-point deficit heading into the start of quarter number 4. Dan Long, so glad that he could join us here along with my broadcast crew on the Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel. 2024-25 home opener for the Fort Lee Bridgemen. In the black and orange, defending in the white and green is Passaic Valley. Each team 0-1 on the season, looking for their first win of this new year. Martinez, who had the one made basket for Fort Lee in the third. Lask in the corner. Song being hounded. Martinez, Fort Lee trying to settle things down. No real clean looks inside. They get it to James, off balance, no good. A tie-up, and the arrow favors Passaic Valley. Since halftime, Passaic Valley has really stepped it up defensively as well. As they've been pushing the pace, certainly after any makes as well with the full court pressure. Inside, the running floater falls for Gabriella Bagnulo. Bagnulo now with 8 points as well, tying Lillian Almendinger for the team lead, and this is the largest lead of the game for either team at 8. Song with a high arcing 3, no good. Tipped out underneath, and here's the race out the other way. Passaic Valley is off to the races, going coast to coast for the layup. Lillian Almendinger. She's got 10 points. 10-point lead for Passaic Valley. Martinez trying to go coast to coast, and she does a good job of drawing the contact. And that'll send Fort Lee to the foul line, trying to stop the momentum of Passaic Valley and get back into this one here at home. Martinez's first foul shot is no good. Fort Lee 3 for 7 at the foul line in this game. She goes 1 of 2 at the line. She's got 6. Martinez averaged just under 4 points per game last season as a sophomore. 28-19 lead for Passaic Valley. Kelly Lane imploring her team to get stronger defensively, but a reach-in foul will stop that possession. That foul went against Amber Lask, her 3rd personal foul. She's got the most on Fort Lee. Inbounds is kicked away. Same state possession here with Passaic Valley. 6:11 left to go in regulation. Hornets turned a 6-point halftime deficit into a 6-point lead heading into the fourth quarter. They've led by as many as 10 in this game. Almendinger. Hornets across the lane, kicking and firing, open uncontested jumper, rattled in and out. Song with a rebound, and then a foul is whistled inside against Teseo. Trying to be a little too over-aggressive, trying to procure that possession back for her team. Second team foul of the fourth quarter for the Hornets. More than 2 minutes gone by here in the fourth. Olivia Kim up top to Martinez. And Fort Lee will turn it over. Richmond not really valuing the basketball all that much here. A lot of those turnovers just on the perimeter. That time it wasn't even a case of the pressure, just an errant pass. So timeout's going to be taken. 5:33 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Passaic Valley on top by 9. Time becoming a concern here for Fort Lee as 5:33 left to go here in the fourth. Still enough time to mount a comeback, but have to make the most out of these possessions. While they have been able to force turnovers throughout the course of this game, what Passaic Valley has done a nice job of is not allowing the transition easy baskets, those runaway layups that lead to an easy two. That can really flip the momentum in this game. Fort Lee out of the timeout comes with a full court pressure for the first time. Passaic Valley breaks it. Down the other way, here come the Hornets down the middle of the lane, and Santos got fouled on her way up. So Jesse Santos' aggression will pay off with a trip to the charity stripe. Olivia Kim is charged with a foul. That is going to be her third personal, team second. Santos missing on the first foul shot attempt. 2 points in this game. Had 8 points against Eastside. Santos missing on a pair. Tracked down by Fort Lee's James, who was yet to score in this second half after putting up 10 points in the first half. Give and go inside. Good clean block, though, underneath. Lillian Almendinger is an exquisite defensive player. Here she is with it, top of the key. Getting it to her sister Kylie. Worked around the perimeter. Dribble drive and a loose ball tie-up underneath, and now the whistle sounds and jump ball. Possession going over to Fort Lee. Full court pressure. Martinez quickly turns to the middle. That's what Fort Lee finally was able to do. Martinez off balance, running layup, no good. And once again to clean the glass is Lillian Almendinger. Fort Lee for too long with this full court pressure that was being put on the third quarter by the Hornets. They would go to the sideline rather than attacking to the middle of the floor, and that's how you could break the press. Martinez did a good job of coming to the basketball and then quickly making up her mind and turning. No hesitation. The full court pressure was broken by Passaic Valley, but they missed on the layup. Here's the little mid-range jump shot. It's good. Gabriella Bagnolo up to double digits herself. She's got 10. Largest lead of the game now. It's 11, 30-19. James with a head and shoulder fake, and she gets on the board here for the first time in this second half. Ileana James now with 12 points for the Bridgemen. And a quick timeout on the floor with 4 minutes exactly remaining here in the fourth quarter. 30-21 lead for Passaic Valley on top here of this girls basketball showdown. Midway point of the fourth quarter. 9-point lead for the visitors. Full court pressure displayed here by Fort Lee out of the timeout. Passaic Valley able to go down that far sideline. Santos, straightaway three, no good. Put back layup is no good. Kim with a rebound here for Fort Lee. Bridgman coming out to break it down the other way. Get it off to Martinez. Martinez tried to split a double team but lost possession. Another turnover produced by the Hornets. Kelly Lane stressing to her team to extend their pressure, put it out a little further on the ball. Almendinger got around her defender, misfired on the shot attempt, last touched by her sister Kindly, and that will go out now for Fort Lee possession. 9-point deficit. Fort Lee's got to get going here offensively. They've been doing a good job on defense to keep themselves in the game. Song for three, sets and fires, no good. James inside for the putback, but missed on the lay-in. Those are the ones that Fort Lee has to have, where they get those opportunities with good looks inside. Passaic Valley ran into themselves. Ball is loose. Good job there by Bagnolo. She kind of had her back to the basketball and still found a way to win back possession with the possession arrow in her team's favor. 30-21, the lead for Passaic Valley, under 3 minutes left to go in regulation. Coach Salvatore's side, hungry for their first win of the season. Quick entry pass, no good. And possession will stay on this side of the floor for Passaic Valley. 2:47 left to go. Time becoming a concern here for the Bridgmen. Great entry pass there on a screen, and that freed up a wide open Lillian Almendinger. 12 points for number 3 in white and green. James pulling it back out. Song again from 3, and three-point shot has just been not in the arsenal here today for the Bridgmen. Only one made 3 all game long. Those shots from the outside just not dropping, and Passaic Valley has put on a defensive clinic here in the second half. Turning it over on offense, there's Martinez in the open floor, but again, you see Passaic Valley, they hustle back to play some defense. As it's deflected out of bounds, will stay with Fort Lee. Bridgmen have scored only 5 total points so far in this entire second half. So they put up 16 points in the first half. James draws the defender. Here's an open look from 3, no good. And again, a rebound inside. Hamden secures the board with under 2 minutes left to go. Lillian Almendinger. She's shown a nice ability to dribble, try to get it to her teammate, and James with a nice rejection. That saved an easy basket underneath. James trying to do it all herself now. The post player playing a little point guard and tried to do a little too much as that got stripped away. Down the other way, Kylie Almendinger missing. And a timeout's going to be granted to Passaic Valley after that tie-up. So possession back over to the Hornets with 1:21 left to go here in the fourth quarter of play. Next home game for Fort Lee girls basketball will come after the new year. On January 2nd, they'll play host to the visiting Mustangs of Clifton High School. And they'll have their first league game on January 7th as they'll welcome in the Huskies of Dumont. And Fort Lee will be participating in a tournament at Hackensack High School after Christmas. And their first home game coming right after the new year on January 2nd against Clifton. Passaic Valley is scheduled to host Nutley on December 31st. Then after the new year, host Passaic and Passaic Charter before hitting the road on January 7th to play at Wayne Hills. As Passaic Valley be instructed after getting it back into play, pull it out, and Fort Lee with aggressive defense gets called for the foul, their third team foul, as that's Jacqueline Martinez's first personal foul of the game. Santos, clean block there by Martinez. Last touch out of bounds by the Bridgemen, so state possession here for Passaic Valley, up by 11, 32-21. Outscoring Fort Lee 21-5 in the second half. And a wedgie. Ball wedged in between the rim and the backboard. And that'll stop play as we resume the action. Possession will go back over to Fort Lee with 1:09 left to go here in the fourth quarter of play. As our own Dimitri Nanis dislodging the ball to get us back into the course of play here. Fort Lee's got to hope for some threes to fall here in bunches. The foot on the line, that's going to be a long-range two for Samantha Song. So Song finally gets a jumper to fall, her first made basket of the game, but again, she was having a foot on the line, so it will only count as two. So the lead is 9 at 32-23. We will be back here to broadcast all of the boys' holiday basketball tournament, the Jack Riley Holiday Tournament. We'll have 3 days of coverage covering each and every one of the games, 12 games total over the course of the 3-day period in the tournament. You'll be able to watch every game live and on demand for free here courtesy of the Fort Lee Athletic Department. So if you want some more basketball action just after Christmas, you could tune in to the Jack Riley Holiday Tournament for boys basketball action here on the Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel. We were witness to a thrilling finish the other night for the boys' season opener here at home. Max Greenberg hitting a long-distance three just before the buzzer sounded. Gave Fort Lee a come-from-behind 40-39 victory against Paramus. And we'll have you covered all winter long with boys and girls basketball as well as wrestling coverage here on YouTube. So 59.7 seconds left to go here in regulation. Full court pressure. There's going to be a baseball pass, but it's intercepted. Martinez with the interception. She'll try to go right to the rim with a layup attempt, no good. Kim with the offensive rebound, looking for an outlet. Here's Song getting it back up top to Martinez. Worked around to Lask. Lask with a runner. That's good. Fort Lee with back-to-back buckets. Trying to claw its way back in this one. The lead is down to 7. And a timeout's going to be granted to Passaic Valley with 39.6 seconds left to go in the fourth quarter. So Samantha Song first got it going, then they call the timeout. Amber Lask with a running floater. Lask now up to 5 points in the game, and Fort Lee with some signs of life here. They still have to force those quick turnovers to try to get back to their offense. 32-25. The lead for Passaic Valley. Again, we'd like to thank our proud sponsors of our broadcast coverage here On the Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel, William T. Birch Children's Fund, Sedona Tap House, Finest Construction, Fort Lee Soccer Club, It's Greek to Me, Fort Lee Education Association, the VFW, Bergen Black Sox, Connect One Bank, Fort Lee Pizza, and Collective Hair Salon. .6 seconds left to go. Full court pressure again being administered by Fort Lee. Inbound to Hamden. Fort Lee trying to administer the quick foul. They do. That'll be their 4th team foul. As that foul went against Samantha Song, her first. Turnover forced by Fort Lee. Here's Martinez going to the rim and blocked away. Lillian Almendinger. She's been an eraser down low all game long. A great block and also just a tremendous rebounder inside. Fort Lee was hoping for the foul there to get to the line without any time expiring. Bridgman to have to convert every possession here on offense. Here's Kim just curling around inside. Another block, but a whistle also sounds. So after they didn't get it last time, they get the whistle and the foul this time around. And Olivia Kim will head to the foul line with the clock stopped. 27.3 seconds left to go. And 2 shots upcoming. Junior looking for her first points of the game. And she gets it, knocking in the foul shot. Averaged just over 3 points a game last season. Kim, clutch foul shooting, knocks in a pair. It's down to a 5-point lead, 32-27, and a quick foul whistled against Fort Lee. Fifth team foul will result in the 2-shot bonus, as they made this change a couple of seasons ago in the high school ranks here in New Jersey. No longer the 7 fouls necessitate the single bonus, and the double fouls being with the 10-team fouls, just once you hit the 5-foul limit in a quarter. Santos swishes the first foul shot. 3 points in the game for the senior. Santos, clutch foul shooting of her own, goes 2 for 2 in that trip. 7-point lead for Passaic Valley. 25 seconds and counting left to go here in regulation. Martinez drops it off to Lask. Lask tries to get it to Kim. Knocked out of her hands. Last touch off of Passaic Valley. 16.8 seconds left to go. So Passaic Valley trying to produce their first win of the season. It looks like they're going to be in good position here. Their defense came to play certainly in that second half. Made life very difficult for Fort Lee. A missed shot by Song. And Passaic Valley will just try to dribble out the remaining 5 seconds here. Lillian Almendinger was great. 12 points in the win. Defensively, after being down by 6 heading into halftime, Passaic Valley turned it around in the second half as they outscored Fort Lee and take home a 7-point win, a 34-27 decision. With the win, Passaic Valley will go to 1-1 on the year. Fort Lee will fall to 0-2. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in to this first home game of the season for the Fort Lee girls basketball program. Again, we welcome you to join us later on this season after the new year for the next home game for the Fort Lee girls team on January 2nd as they'll play host to the Clifton Mustangs. Thank you again to all of our proud sponsors of our broadcast coverage. For Dimitri Nanis, I'm Dan Long saying so long, and we'll see you for the Jack Riley Holiday Tournament for the boys basketball ranks right after Christmas. Take care, everybody.